Searching for data jobs today can be grueling and emotionally exhausting. You might apply for hundreds of jobs only to be ghosted by most companies. If you are lucky enough to get shortlisted, you then face a large number of interviews: behavioral, technical, coding, take-home assignments, on-site visits, and more. I will share how I would search for a job right now and provide you with 4 pieces of advice to help you navigate this challenging and chaotic period. If you are an aspiring or early career data scientist and you need some career guidance, book a free call with me. The link is in the description. As a data scientist, you are probably familiar with the no free lunch theorem. The same concept applies to your job search as well. There is no single job search strategy that works best for everyone. You need to learn about the various strategies and find the one that's best for you. Job search strategies can be described along 2 axes: the amount of time and effort you put into applying for a job, this is passive versus active strategies, and how well you know people at the company you apply to, whether you are a cold or a warm applicant. For example, pressing the easy apply button is a passive strategy because you spend a small amount of time, literally seconds, applying for one job. You are also usually a cold applicant because you might apply without reaching out to anyone at the company beforehand. My students tell me they usually start with the easy apply strategy because, as its name suggests, it is easy. They only need to prepare a resume to get started. The drawback is that they need to apply to more than 500 or 1000 jobs, and the recall rate is usually extremely low, so they might only get a few interviews. If you are just looking for a job and it doesn't really matter to you where you work and what discipline you work in, this strategy might work. You can make the easy apply strategy just a bit more active by applying to fewer jobs but tailoring your resume to each job individually. As you can imagine, this requires more work from you, but if you have a clearer idea of what you want to do and where you would like to work, you can afford to narrow down your search and be more careful where you apply. The process of customizing your resume also means that your chances of getting shortlisted are higher. The most active strategy is to not even look at job postings, but to research companies instead. Reach out to them directly, meet with the data scientists and managers at the company, preferably in person, build a relationship with them, and eventually ask how you can help. If you know exactly what you want and where you want to work, this can be a great strategy to use, and several friends of mine got jobs this way. The other axis I mentioned is how well you know people at the company. An applicant is considered cold if they apply without any personal connections to the company. A warm applicant, on the other hand, comes with a referral. A referral means that a current employee recommends you for the position. Which brings us to my second piece of advice. Early in your career, you might not realize how companies prefer to fill roles and why it is so much easier to get a job with a referral. First, companies try to fill roles by promoting someone internally, whenever possible. From the company's perspective, this person likely knows everyone, understands the ins and outs, and probably needs minimal training. The risk of failure is minimal, which is why big tech companies rarely advertise high-level positions. They mostly hire entry-level people and promote internally as necessary. Second, if an internal promotion is not possible, companies prefer to hire a candidate who comes with a referral. From the company's perspective, if a current employee vouches for you and you perform well during the interview, the hiring manager will be convinced that hiring you is low risk and you are likely to be successful. Getting a referral doesn't guarantee a job, but it will put you on the shortlist and you will probably be invited for an interview. Finally, if no internal promotion is possible and no one with a referral applies, the last resort is to hire a cold applicant from the pool. Hiring a cold applicant is risky because the new hire might not fit in or perform well in the new role. As you can imagine, the effectiveness of a cold or a warm strategy for you depends on your existing connections and how easily you build meaningful new ones. Nevertheless, applying with a referral comes with many advantages, so you should invest time and effort to reach out to your connections and network with new people. The time between receiving an interview invitation and the actual interview can be very short, often just a few days. Also, you might only get a few chances to interview, so it's crucial to prepare for interviews in advance. Interview preparation deserves a video of its own, so let me know in the comments if you would like me to make one. I will briefly describe the 3 types of interviews you should expect and how I would prepare for them now. The behavioral interview usually comes first, as it's an easy way to filter out candidates who might not fit with the team. Research and compile a list of typical behavioral questions. Write down your answers to each question in a document, ensuring you tell a compelling story, and ask your friends for feedback. When the typical "tell me about the time when" question arises, you will have an answer ready, ensuring a smooth experience during your behavioral interview. It's also important to prepare some thoughtful questions to ask at the end of the interview. Every hiring manager will ask you if you have any questions. Responding with "no, I'm good" is a missed opportunity and it looks bad. Instead, ask about the company culture, the tools you will use, the people and teams you will work closely with, and similar topics. This is your chance to learn more about the company and the team. Remember, you are interviewing the company as much as they are interviewing you. The technical interview can be challenging to prepare for because the questions can vary widely. Ask your interviewer what to expect. They may provide some guidance to help you prepare. If they don't, you are no worse off than before, so there's really no downsides of asking. During my time conducting technical interviews, I asked about data splitting strategies, pre-processing, how various machine learning models work, evaluation metrics, and interpretability. I would also present case studies, asking applicants to find solutions, often by asking follow-up questions. This method is an excellent way to assess problem-solving skills. The coding interview is another area where preparation is key. There are many resources available to help you prepare, such as LeetCode. Remember, it's okay if you cannot immediately solve a problem during a coding interview. Just stay calm, ask clarifying questions, and explain your thought process. If you solve a problem too quickly and from memory, the interviewer doesn't learn anything of importance about your problem-solving skills. The real test begins when you are presented with a problem you cannot immediately solve. Job searching is inherently chaotic and stressful. Combat this with discipline and organization. For instance, dedicate 2, 4, or at most 6 hours each workday to your job search and stick to this schedule. Ensure you leave ample time for family, friends, hobbies, sports, and rest. Maintaining a balance is crucial for your happiness and well-being during this taxing time. I also recommend keeping a log or creating a database to track your progress. Record every job you apply for, companies you research, networking events you attend, and people you reach out to. If you secure an interview, take detailed notes of the questions asked and your responses. Over time, you will build a valuable knowledge base that you might share with friends facing similar challenges. If you find my advice helpful, check out my previous video on 3 essential things you need to know to become a data scientist for more information.